Okay. So let's say we have a couple vectors here.
You didn't draw a dot.
You didn't draw a dot.
3, -2. For some reason they like to use vectors v and u.
Why would they do V and U? They look the same when you draw them.
No, they don't.
To confuse high school kids.
I don't do a tail on my U.
I think we should just go back to what the Romans did.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
So a dot product, it'll just look like u dot v.
To multiply?
You do, maybe I should just write the general dot product. You do x1 times x2 plus y1 times y2.
So you just get one product.
Yeah, there's just one number. And basically I think what they made it up for is if the dot, well, maybe a couple reasons, but if the dot product comes out as 0, that means the two vectors are perpendicular to each other.
Okay.
So, you know, if you put them at the right spot, they'll make a 90-degree angle. If you put them right next to each other. Anyways, that's kind of the heart of the lesson. That's not quite everything, but I think get us a long ways. So if I was finding the dot product for these two guys, it would be 3 times -1 plus -2 times -3, which I just made these numbers up, so it's not going to come out of 0. But this would be -3 plus 6 is 3. Anyways, number 1.
I don't understand.
It's all math. Time to quit. Okay, number 1. We'll do another example on number 1. Number 1. We're doing a number 1. That's a dot product.
It's time to quit.
2, 3, 4, -5.
8
Didn't fix the board.
plus -15, so -7.
You think I'd
I
be
think
good
you do that every time.
at it? You think I'd be good at it at this point?
I need you to erase that. It's distracting.
I think you should do this
Let me
problem in
erase
the
this.
big one. I think you should erase it. Oh, now write with the eraser.
No,
I don't think that's gonna work.
No.
Come on.
wait.
It'll erase
You
my
should
product.
write in white now. With
oh, you really messed up now.
No, what was
About to
that?
kill the computer, probably.
Make it 3D.
What happened?
Can you write inside of it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hate this.
Can we do the
Ray-
dark
Rachel would
screen
be
with the
freaking
lights
out
off
right now.
again? That's
Yeah.
fine.
Xander said it doesn't show up very well.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, like with the lights off.
Yeah, let's just get it.
Well, that's
Okay,
just with the
let's
lights.
move on.
Look at your little mini map there.
All right. Oh yeah, number 1. We're up to a great start. 2, 3, 4, -5 equals. So you just do 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 times -5, -15 equals -7.
That's not 0.
That's not 0. So that means
Good job, Jackson.
they're not perpendicular to each other.
There's a
Solved
B.
it.
So they are not.
Oh, there's a B.
Not
Always
perpendicular.
a B.
How do you rate that?
Can you like
You-
do
they didn't
a
ask.
big hard calculus problem and Brady Bunks in so they don't think?
Huh?
Yeah, say it anymore.
What?
I think this is enough. I'm gonna be honest.
You ready to call it 1A? You're good.
What
Okay.
minutes?
You missed
Oh.
not much.
I'm ready to call it.
Okay, Brady, you ready?
Yeah.
These are two vectors, and there's a little dot in between them right there.
That
So
doesn't mean.
you
and we're-
multiply.
Well, kind of. It's called the dot product. You do 3 times 7 plus -5 times 4.
So 21 minus or plus -20.
Yeah. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah. I'm done now.
Quit while you're ahead.
That's a noble strategy.
Find the value of A. Big parallel. So if if they're parallel, the dot product should be, yeah, I forgot. Let me think. Leg bones connected to the shoulder bone. 1, -1.
He's doing it.
Can we learn Pythagorean theorem again?
No.
Sounds like really easy to get stuff.
Yeah, but then we have to memorize the midpoint distance formulas for the 4th time, and I don't think I'm ready for that.
Should have it memorized by now.
No, I refuse. See, midpoint's easy because midpoint is way too complicated for what it actually
Change
is.
in y
No,
squared plus
no.
change in x squared.
Average the two of them. That's all you need to say. Just average it. Add them
I
together.
just told you the distance from.
Divided by 2. Huh?
I just told you the distance from.
Yeah, distance formula is crap.
Change of x squared plus change of y squared.
No, forget the change of. Subtract them, square it, square root it.
That's what I just said.
No, no, it's not.
What are you talking
Do you guys remember what we know about parallel lines?
They never touch.
They're
They have the
parallel?
same slope.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. And so on vectors,
Thank you, Brady.
they're going to be parallel if, so let's say this vector right here was like, I don't know, 3, 2 or something. And so this 3 and this 2 are kind of the slope. The 2 is like the rise and the 3 is like the run. So the slope of the vector is like 2/3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Going up 2 and over 3.
What?
Rise over run.
Okay.
2 over 3. So that's like the slope. So any other vector that's going to be parallel to that should have the same ratio between the y and the x value.
Same ratio.
Right.
So
same
like it
ratio.
could be 6 over,
No,
No.
6.
So it's like does 3 over
or
2.
4 over 6.
Right. 3 over 2. 3 over 2 should equal 6 over 4, or 2 over 3 should equal 4 over 6, or something like that. So on number 3, one of the vectors is 4. Oh, that was, I didn't mean to do the same problem.
You did the same problem on accident?
Yeah. Sometimes I see the numbers and it like
3/4.
subconsciously goes in my head.
So the answer is 2.
so-
It's A. No, the answer
You
is
could
A.
do 4 over a equals 6 over 3, or you could do 4 over 6 equals a over 3. Either way, it's going to work. And then cross. Well, how would we solve that? Assuming we didn't already know the answer.
Okay, you just do 6 times A is 6A, and then 4 times 3, which is like 12 or something. And then bada bing, bada boom, you divide by 2.
1, 2.
A is 2.
Bingo.
Okay.
If they're parallel, it's 2, but B is perpendicular, so it's the negative reciprocal.
Yeah. So you could do like
Make it confusing.
perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So you could say 4 over 6 would equal negative 3 over a, like switch it upside down. Or you could use the dot form,
We don't
Dot
like
product,
that
I mean.
formula.
dot product. So the dot product is they're supposed to add up to 0. So 4 times a plus 6 times 3 equals 0. And then we can just solve that for a.
So 6
4
times,
A
6
plus-
times 3 is 18, divided by 4 is like,
Well, it's
4.
actually negative 18.
A equals negative 4.
No,
No, that's not right. Bada bing, bada boom.
Negative.
It's like 3.5. I was close.
Every single step, you were wrong.
I was close.
Every step.
Really should have stopped while we were in.
Nah, see, I was just spouting out just random guesses, hoping I would get it right. Don't move on. I need to copy all down.
Wait, so you use the dot thing for perpendicular,
Yeah.
and then the other thing for
There's
parallel?
there is a way we could have set this up. Just turn this into negative 3 over a.
I'm just saying.
And that would work also. But yeah, I think they want us to use dot product. Number 5. Number 5.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
What is that
If u is -3 or -2, 3, find the dot product of u and u. So just -2, 3 dot -2, 3.
Oh,
So what's -2 times -2?
4.
4.
Plus 3 times 3,
9.
9.
4 plus 9.
13.
That
That took me way too long.
God.
Is
No.
that the
B.
A? That was A. Okay. B.
Oh, it's just 2/3.
Okay, what is the
It makes it positive.
absolute value?
Positive.
No,
Measure.
not on vectors. What is the
Magnitude.
magnitude, which means what?
Distance.
Length.
How far it
The
goes.
length. So
It doesn't-
basically, 2, 3, -2, 3 tells us this is the vector.
Oh,
And we just
no,
do
we don't like
2 squared
this.
plus 3 squared. And then the square root of that, right?
4 plus
What was the point of the triangle? Wait, what's the point of a triangle?
What's the point of a triangle?
Like, it just makes everything way more confusing.
Triangles just exist. That's-
Sadly.
Anyway,
What's the point of a triangle?
Wait, so
It's like,
what
what's
square root
the
of
point of
13
a
is B?
They
No.
don't do nothing.
Square root of 13 squared?
They feed
Yeah,
you.
13. Wasps and bees can all go.
Square root of 13
Being
squared,
bees
No,
too?
we need honey.
which is
No.
13.
And they
Okay.
Okay, we have a point here.
yeah. So, guys, they're trying to make a point. So, if you do, it turns out if you do a dot product of the vector in itself,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be the same thing as the magnitude squared. It's basically, if you think about it, this is like Pythagorean theorem: 2 squared plus 3 squared, 2 squared plus 3 squared.
Don't try
So
to
this
compare
is
it
just
to
an easier
Pythagorean
way to
theorem.
get
You're gonna
magnitude.
lose me.
So the dot,
It's not an easier way,
whatever it
it's,
is.
it's the same way.
What is this called again? The dot something? The
Dot
dot,
product.
Okay, wait. How do you,
Oh, it is.
how do you
So-
find the magnitude?
You will try.
So if we want to find the magnitude, we just take the vectors, the vector.
You can do the dot product of the vector times itself, but then you have to, yeah, that's it.
So just put.
Isn't it just easier?
Well, you have to square root it.
No, you
still.
just chuck whatever you got.
It's the exact same thing as this right here. It's 2 squared plus 3 squared.
But you don't have to square root it.
No, you got to
Well-
square root it. You do have to square root it.
Square
13
root,
just doesn't
Not
have
the-
a square root.
not the
square root of
dot
13
product.
is the magnitude, not 13. So it's,
So it's the square root of the dot product.
Yes. That's
It's the
yes,
Okay.
that's what it is. Okay, I don't recommend trying to think of it. I probably just stick with Pythagorean theorem.
No, I'm just gonna chuck it in.
Whatever.
Just pile
Okay.
it in.
Yeah.
So on 7, they're telling us that u dot v equals v dot u, but we gotta prove it, which means we actually just show your work basically. So here's what I'm gonna do. 5 it's not hard. 5 -3 dot 3 7. And we're supposed to show that that's the same thing as 3 7 dot 5 -3.
You're just showing that the order of multiplication doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we did that one.
So they both come out as 15 plus -21. Yeah, the order of dot product is not there.
Are we missing people?
If we knew PEMDAS, we would know that.
Rachel's done.
I think that's.
Bethany's been gone for a long time.
Poor
She'll be back
Bethany.
on Wednesday probably.
Yeah, I think that
Sleep
they get back
deprived.
Tuesday.
I think she was having a hard time.
Oh, is there a B also?
I mean, I got back from my junior trip. They sold my car, and half of my stuff was packed away, and they told me I was moving. So,
You know,
I thought you knew you were moving before you.
no, I knew I was moving in like 6 months, and they were like, "Just kidding." Right.
Okay, so on B it's similar, we're supposed to do the dot product times 2 and then do 2 times u and the dot product will be, and show that they're the same. It's a lot of work,
Say it
folks.
again.
Well, I'm just reading 7b.
Good.
So 2u times 2v.
Is this just plugging and stuff?
Pretty much. We're supposed to show that's the same thing as 2
Why are they making us do this?
dot 3.
Wait, it's 3 on the outside.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
No, that's number 8.
Oh, okay.
So 3 is the same. as
Okay,
4.
I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit right here because we just did the dot product of these two is -6. So I'm just gonna do 2 times x, not really cheating. And then this one, if you
Isn't
multiply
that
that,
-6 too?
that vector times 2, it's 10 -6 dot 37.
Wasn't it negative? So
It'd be -12. Tall. They're both -12.
And why is that?
Because
They're
it says
just showing that if you multiply the dot product times 2, that's the same thing as multiplying one of the vectors times 2 and then doing the dot product. The order doesn't matter. See what I'm saying?
Does
Like
dot
on this
really
one, we
matter?
did the dot product first and then times 2. On this one, we did the first vector times 2 and then the dot product. They both come out as -12.
absolutely
This whole
riveting.
dot thing is really throwing me off because it makes me think multiply.
Well,
every
there's
time.
multiply, yeah. It looks like a multiply symbol. There's a lot of multiplying involved.
So there's adding them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Why didn't they make a new symbol?
that's right, Jack. Absorb the information.
Okay. Number
Soak it up.
9. Made it through that section. In exercises 9 and 10, verify for the given vectors u, v, and w. Okay, kind of same thing, isn't it? So we
Just way more complicated.
oh, wow, that's not that bad. Okay, vector u is -2, 5. So we're supposed to do that, dot. 1, 3 plus maybe 1, 2. Alright, did I write that right? And that's supposed to be equal to, so they're kind of showing that the distributive property works on those two. You see that? U dot v, so -2, 5 dot 1, 3 plus -2, 5, -1, 2. So all I did was plug the vectors in that they gave us. On this one, the left side we're supposed to add first. So if I add those together, 1 plus -1 is 0, 3 plus 2 is 5.
And then you dot product.
Dot product that, we'll come back to that. And then over here, you dot product both of them. Okay, I'm gonna do it
Left side equals
that's
25.
fine, I'll write it out. -2 times 1 plus 5 times 3 plus -2 times -1 plus 5 times 2. That's a bunch of stuff.
25.
This is -2 times 0 plus 5 times 5.
25.
Did you actually do all that?
I did the left side.
Oh, you can say that's a lot harder. 2 plus 17 2 plus
Wait, they're showing that they're just the
12.
same. You only get one side.
Are they always the same?
Yeah. That's what
Do we have to write out the other one?
negative 2 plus 15 is 13 plus 19. Or 13 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Are they always gonna be equal if it's saying so?
15 plus 10. Yeah, we're just showing it's true. They're trying to show us different properties of the dot product.
So can we just only do one side?
No.
I have to write
'cause
out B too.
Show it's true, you gotta show it's true.
I am showing. With the equal sign showing.
I've spoken.
It's true.
25 equals 25.
I've spoken.
I think 13's more of a reasonable number.
Really, Brady?
I think it is too. I'm
I
exhausted.
think 10 is much more reasonable number.
Okay,
Please.
on number 11, we got one more little formula to throw in here, besides the dot product. I'm just getting this off of the previous page. Cosine of theta equals u dot v over magnitude
Oh
u.
no.
Huh?
What are you doing?
Hey.
What are you doing?
This is the formula that you can use to find the
What?
Shh. This is the formula you can use to find the angle between the two vectors u and v.
What? The angle between the two vectors u and v.
Right.
So,
So if you have a couple vectors and you want to, what's the
Okay.
angle between those two, this is what we have to do. So you plug all the stuff in for u and v here, and then how we solve that for theta? Let's say I plugged all this in right here and I got like cosine of theta equals 0.87.
Inverse?
Yeah, cosine inverse of 0.87 will give you theta. You want,
why? So this is a dot product. This is not multiple.
well, there's dot product in it, and there's magnitude in it.
But that's not multiply. That's
I
dot
forgot.
product.
That's dot product, yeah. These are vectors right here.
I don't like this.
Okay, so on number 11, we're showing more stuff. They should have just asked us what the angle was instead of giving us the answer. Anyways, we're going to do 13 dot 21 divided by the magnitude. Okay,
I forgot how to multiply.
guys, how do I find the magnitude of u right here?
Oh,
Square.
three's on the left side of the triangle, like the height of the triangle. One's on the bottom, and then something with the
Oh no,
hypotenuse.
this is really messy.
Yeah,
up.
so it's 1 squared plus 3 squared, square root of that. That's the
That's-
magnitude of this guy. And then the magnitude of the other guy, same thing.
What are the 16 of these?
Yeah.
16.
It's really like taking me a second to like grasp. I don't know why. I gotta understand it, but
There's a lot going on.
I understand.
I understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I did the dot product of the two vectors up here. The magnitude of u, the magnitude of v.
You know,
Okay.
sleeping
So
actually
it's
does
1
help.
times 2 plus 3 times 1.
Yeah,
So
so
it's 3
it's
plus
2
2.
plus 3 on top, 5. And on the bottom, it's 1 plus 9 is 10. So square root of 10. 4 plus 1 is 5, square root of 5. Square root of 10 times square root of 5, square root of 50. Okay, we could actually simplify this, but we don't need to
So you just do
because
cosine inverse of.
cosine of theta is supposed to equal all that stuff. So we just need to do cosine inverse of 5 over square root of 50.
45. We already did that. And
So,
I plugged it in the calculator.
In a couple problems though, they're not going to tell us. We actually have to figure it out ourselves.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand.
Well,
I'll be honest,
it
I
makes
could
you
do
feel
that
Okay.
myself.
Like,
All I did was the dot product on
Okay.
top. I did the magnitude of u and v on the bottom. All applied together.
Is
just
13 the same thing?
Like this.
13 is the same thing.
Alright, I
They're
got
not,
you. I got you.
Why?
I got you. I can do it.
they're not telling us the answer on 13.
That's fine. Wait, can I write down that formula?
Yeah, just turn your page back in the book, it's on the previous page.
13.
Alright, I got you guys.
We're stopping.
No.
We solved
Right.
math.
We saw math.
Mr.
Time to
Word.
retire.
Alright, can I do it?
Oh, you wanna tell me what you're right?
Oh, I can do the whole thing.
Okay, well, you just tell me what you're right.
Okay, so you do 3 times 3 is 9, and then
I'm gonna
negative,
start right there.
huh?
3 negative 4 times dot 3, 4.
Oh,
So that's the dot product on top, and then what do I put on the bottom?
and then you do the magnitude of.
How do we do the magnitude of u, this thing?
Here, let me find it. I lost where I was.
3
What's
squared.
the
Okay.
formula again?
Plus
It's 3
4
squared
squared.
plus 4 squared.
So these are the same, they're both 3 and 4.
Is
It
it
doesn't
not?
matter that the 4 is negative here, because when you square it, it'll still be
Okay.
positive.
And then it's 9 over negative or 9 negative 16 on top.
9 plus negative 16 on top.
And I don't have a calculator because
Good reason.
3 squared plus 4 squared, I can, the lady looks really guilty over here. She looks really sorry about what she's done.
5.
This is really awkward.
Okay,
It's 5. 5 times 5.
yeah, you guys remember 3, 4, 5 was the right triangle?
You
Those
got
are 5s. 3 squared plus 4 squared is 25, squared of 25 is 5. 5 times 5.
25
So 9 minus 16.
negative 7.
Okay, so cosine of
Cosine.
theta is supposed to be equal to
Yeah,
all.
so you gotta do cosine inverse to find the degrees.
What's the normal formula so I can write down?
It's on the previous page, but it's also right there.
Can you go back to where that was? I was trying to copy everything down. Hey, can you just flip back to the previous page?
Somebody do it.
Let's round, it says round to the 10th of a degree.
Can someone with a calculator?
Yeah, I got you.
I have a calculator.
Mine's a simple error.
73.74.
One
Oh wait, I didn't do negative.
I got 106.3.
3.
That's the right answer.
I was just plugging it in again to see, cause my negative was, it was just negative 7 over 25, not negative 7 over 25. I
It
wanted to
doesn't,
see if,
it doesn't matter where the negative goes.
yeah, no, I wanted to see if it did for some reason.
Oh, that was really loud.
Maybe you should be less disruptive.
Well,
I
okay.
didn't mean
Well,
to be.
we'll stop at 14.
Were you surprised
I
to
said-
do that?
Not really, but good job.
Oh.
I have.
Matthew?
But it does seem like you got a decent amount of sleep last night.
I did, cause I didn't take my usually daily nap, and so I was really tired.
So you actually